Hey guys, it's Dr. Brian from Magnolia Natural Medicine doing another herbal spotlight. This time on this beautiful herb here. This is Calendula. Its Latin name is Calendula officinalis, so the scientific name and the common name are the same. It's also known as pot marigold occasionally, and it is just a staple of pretty much any herbal apothecary. The reason for that is that it has two main uses, and it's very good at both of them. The first one, and the one that is most common, is its use topically. It's extracted in oil or in fats, and it is used in beauty products the world around. If you've ever been in an Ulta, if you've ever been in a Sephora and you've picked up a face cream, look at that label. Look for the word calendula or look for the word marigold, and it's almost assuredly on there. It is a well-known fact that it is just the carotenoids that are in this plant. That's what makes it yellow or orange. They can be all different colors depending on the ratio of different carotenoids. But they are well known to be skin healing, skin nourishing. This is definitely a preventative medicine and a effective medicine if you have a cut or a scrape. Anything that's not particularly bad. Of course, if you have some really deep wound that requires stitches and things, just wait a little bit before using any topical products other than direct antimicrobials that are prescribed by your physician. But once the stitches are out and things like that, this is going to help with scarring. It's going to help with wound healing. It's going to help with everything. Again, we just want to make sure because it's extracted in fat, bacteria are a big fan of that, so you want to make sure that the risk of infection is gone by the time you start using calendula if you're using it in a first aid capacity. Because you do need to leave the oil on so it absorbs into the tissue of the skin, who will then immediately put it to use to heal the skin. But outside of wounds, just for wrinkles and for collagen, it's absolutely going to have an effect that is positive. It's most commonly extracted in olive oil for people who make their own medicines at home. Rosemary Gladstar, who, if you don't know who she is, please press pause and go Google her, because that's kind of a step one. She's phenomenal. She has a great recipe for making a cream, a nice light thin cream, rather than using just like having a thick oil. And I think I'll make a video on that too someday, but not right now. So that's the first use of calendula that it is a star in. I mean, if you're making a skincare product and you're not putting calendula in it, are you really making a skincare product? The answer is you probably are, but I mean, come on, calendula is awesome. The second thing that it is used for is internally. So it's very anti-inflammatory, and it's very soothing to the mouth and throat tissue specifically. It really helps specifically with lymph nodes. So it has this whole lymphatic piece, and it works great with kids. So red clover and gallium or cleavers and calendula are like your three lymphagogues or lymph movers in pediatrics. And it does this very well. I have used it in a variety of different situations, and I found it really works best when there's just the stuck, right before, when you're just about to catch something and you feel them well up, or you're completely over it and they just won't go down, just feel that little nugget. It tends to be very helpful in that way, to just help move that through. The third thing that it gets used for now, and that would be a water extraction. I'm sorry, that would be in tea. Hot water extraction, steep, covered, 5 minutes, 1 tablespoon per cup of water. That's just the traditional dose. If I never stipulate it, it's just traditionally it's 1 tablespoon of the dried herb to 1 cup of freshly boiled water. Usually you steep it covered. But yes, so the third thing that it gets used for is definitely more of its energetic aspects, and I have to say that I don't disagree with this. I like to keep things in the science realm, but I also absolutely recognize the relationship between plants and people, and that they have effects on us emotionally. And so this sunny guy, who's named calendula because it is the calendar plant, in that it will bloom its sunny bloom all 12 months of the year in the right climate. It's originally from the Mediterranean. So that aspect of sunshine is why it gets called liquid sunshine, and it's really known to bring that feeling of warmth into people's lives where they might be feeling sad or dark. People who deal with seasonal affective disorder, or people who have experienced trauma where they feel like they're in the dark or they can't see their way through, and they're just a little sad. This is often employed in teas to just uplift the spirits. I took a look, and there isn't any research on this. This is strictly out of its historic use. I would love to see somebody do that, but it's really, you tell people the story of calendula, and then you let calendula shine for them. So I love to add it. Also, just seeing the petals in like a French press or something. It's just so pretty, and it is so sunny, that I think it just kind of affects people's moods and spirits. And so if you're that person that feels like every day is a cloudy day, or on a cloudy day you can't deal with it, even though you're pretty much functional in life, but you wish you just felt a little sunnier, that is a calendula moment, and I would highly recommend giving it a shot. I will say though that there is some discussion about it having some effect on increasing menstrual flow. I have never seen this to be the case, but as a result, I would not recommend internal use if you think you're pregnant, or especially if you have a history of recurrent miscarriage or something like that. Again, better safe than sorry. I've said this in other videos, but I am pretty conservative when it comes to plants and pregnancy. There's usually not a need to just get in there with it, especially if, given what's at stake, given the sensitive nature of the condition. But otherwise, super safe, great for kids. Can't really think of anything else. Yeah, that's it. It's a great little herb, used in oils or used in teas. If you do find it in a tincture, I would recommend that just make sure it's very low alcohol, because again, you want most of its water. Actually, a thing called a succus, which is where they juice it. It's hard to find on the market. I want to say Heron Botanicals has one, but don't quote me on that. That would be how you would probably use that if you wanted it in a tincture bottle with droppers. But that's not normally what it's for. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I hope that this was fun for you, and I hope you enjoy my little herbal spotlights. I'm going to make a few more. All right. Thank you. Have a good one. I'm Brian.